Danielle, thank you for joining us
Thank
on
you
the
for having
show.
me.
No, thank you for being here. So, would you mind just letting the audience know who you are and what you do?
My name's Danielle. I started in horses from a very young age. I started county level showing at the age of 3. I was lucky enough to have a great team of ponies supported by my mum and dad. I won Horse of the Year show at Wembley Arena when I was 9. M&M working hunter pony with Bengad Duranta. Then I continued my showing journey. I won the Royal International and many championships at Ponies UK and BSPS.
Well, there's a lot of horse shows in there.
Yes, a lot of horse shows. I also went out to America to Ocala and competed and won at the Ocala Hits Winter Circuits, which was a great experience. I concentrated more on dressage from 12, 13, training with the late Dominique Morgan, the late Laura Fry, Vicky Thompson, and Ian Woodhead. I did a couple of smaller internationals as a U21 rider. I retired from horses for the first time in 2004. I then took up a career in security.
Okay.
I was a door supervisor, a bouncer.
Yeah.
I trained in close protection and I was personal bodyguard to Emma Watson when she was in Harry Potter.
Oh, wow.
And I looked after other celebs like Jodie Kidd and things like that. I was also an SIA trainer, so I trained bodyguards as well and door supervisors. I then ran alongside that a martial arts career. So I was double silver medalist at the World Kickboxing Championships. And then I changed to cage fighting.
Wow.
And I became Europe's first televised female cage fighting referee on UCMMA on Sky Sports.
Wow.
And I got licensed by the United States Athletic Commission and I refereed out in the States as well. I was also a handcuff trainer and I was also a conflict management and control and restraint trainer for, I worked as a subcontractor for the NHS where we trained and signed off the staff that were working high secure units.
Okay.
So I did that, and unfortunately, my health started. I had childhood epilepsy, so I was told I'd have effects later on in life, and I ended up with chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, stress-related tachycardia, anaphylaxis, and things like that. So my health started declining.
I'm just quickly interested to ask, just for the audience's point of view, you came out of horses in 2004. Just going back a few steps. What brought that on?
I got bored.
Okay.
When the day I woke up and thought, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm highly competitive. I had undiagnosed autism at this time. So I knew that when I started to not want to do something, it was time to knock it on the head.
Okay.
Martial arts had always been my second sport. I'd always enjoyed fighting.
We'll sit back over here, I think.
I'm nice now. And then obviously with the undiagnosed autism, I then had to do the martial arts to the nth degree as well. Because I actually didn't get diagnosed with autism until 2022.
Wow.
So when I had the decline in my health, it was very difficult from going from somebody that could work all the hours God sends to not being able to do as much. And that did take its toll on my mental health. But I was always trying to find ways around it. But unfortunately, I had a massive reaction to a lidocaine infusion and I nearly died under pharmaceutical meds. So I had a resting heart rate of over 200. So I then had a heart monitor put in and I couldn't eat normal food. So from 2017, I've used a therapeutic source of nutrition called isogenics. Now, I have to make it clear it doesn't diagnose, treat, or sort of deal with medical conditions, but my doctor actually recommended it as a last sort of ditch attempt before a feeding tube was put in.
Wow.
And obviously, if I had a feeding tube, my standard of life would go down even more. So it saved me from that. And the isogenics to this day is what keeps me up and about. But then in 2022, in March, I had a stroke.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know what was happening at the time. I just rang the doctor and said, I've lost the feeling down my right side. I didn't really think anything of it. Anyway, blues and twos came out and I wasn't able to have the stroke cocktail injection because of my allergies to pharmaceuticals. So it was quite worrying. And unfortunately, I didn't get the neurophysio I needed, which left me with a deficit in my right shoulder.
Okay.
So I have lost 30% of my right side.
Okay.
But I worked really hard to sort of get that back. But at the end of 2022, my mental health was in a really bad place. So I went out to Malta for 3 months and I helped the Prime Minister's daughter with her riding.
Okay.
And I fell in love with a beautiful, beautiful warm blood stallion called Pleasureland AM. And he was actually gifted to me.
Oh, wow.
So I brought him back with myself at the end of 2022. And I was also diagnosed while I was over in Malta, not by Maltese, by English people, but through a Zoom thing. And that's when my equestrian journey started again. So I based myself with a trainer at a competition centre. I put an advert out for another horse as well because my stallion had had previous injuries. And I was so, so lucky to get the Quake Stud's Dizzy Rascal. That's a beautiful, beautiful chestnut mare by DiMaggio Cross Beertop. And Vicky from the Quake Stud said, you can have her as long as she's happy. You can have her on loan and do what you want. And she's the best owner ever. And Dizzy was bred by Sandy Senior, and Vicky bought her as a foal. And then we started our para journey, but it's a different para. It's coming into BD, but our version of British dressage is Sports Excel UK.
Okay.
Because my category is II3, which is for riders with autism.
Okay.
And the equivalent of our FEI is Virtuous Sports. So they deal with all the intellectual impairment paras.
Okay.
So it wasn't very well sort of heard of. And I actually fell across it on Facebook. I think a lady called Emma Bayliss from British Dressage had actually shared it. So I went down classification, which took a long time, 9-10 months.
Oh, wow.
And then last year, literally 3 days before the BD Parachamps that were holding the Virtuous classes, I got a phone call from Sports Excel UK. They said, your national classification is through. I've cleared it with Amanda Rogers. Get an entry in and get yourself to Hartbury. So I had 72 hours to get to Hartbury with Dizzy Rascal.
Oh, wow.
And we won the national championships, which